I'm Gaz, and this is Let's Play Tropico 2. This is part of my 6-pack series, and this Tropico is a little different than pretty much all the other Tropicos, because for one thing, the theme is completely different. We are no longer on an island in the Caribbean as El Presidente. This takes place centuries beforehand, and I'm going to, at least in headcanon, believe that this is sort of the precursor to later Tropico games. So we are, in fact, a pirate king somewhere in the Caribbean. Not on Monkey Island, unfortunately, but I have chosen somewhere in the Bahamas. So, just like in the first Tropico, you can start your island setup with a whole bunch of parameters. The parameters that I have are pretty easy. But I also don't know the game very well, and it plays a lot differently. So you see here we have also got Northern Hispaniola unlocked, but we can eventually go around and explore the rest of the place. So the way this works, instead of having an island nation that we are trying to grow and foster and turn it into a destination and a world power, etc., etc., this time we are actually trying to pretty much just provide a pirate haven. So we have a couple things going on here. One, you'll see I've got some industries down. These industries are not actually to make a profit for me, though. They are rather to keep the island going. What my focus on for this game is actually keeping my pirates happy and providing them with what they need so they can go out and do piratey things. So everything you see here is really just for infrastructure. And we'll zoom out to the full island here. Got a pretty good island. Take a look here real quick. Corn fertility is definitely not around the edges, so that's going to be a thing. But you don't need as many farms in this game to keep things going. So it's really interesting. And I'm also a little unsure on how much I need as well. So we look at sugar. This will be necessary for rum, so that's going to have to expand in a different way. Actually, let's maybe turn that off a little bit. Tobacco I'll need eventually. Now bananas, papayas, and everything else, I'm not really sure. I mean, maybe later I'll need them. But so really, we've got different levels of pirates that will be in the settlement, and so we'll have to provide different things over time. But it takes a very long time for this game to get going. And then we've got iron deposits. So that'll also be pretty necessary. So there are actually 3 different things we need to get our pirates up and running. Obviously one is a ship, and I do not have a dock, nor a shipwright. So that's going to probably be the first things I focus on. The beginning of the game is really jumbled because you have to focus on a few things. You have to focus on getting your industries up and running, and then you've got to get your pirates out there. So what we'll be doing first is establishing the chains to get our ships going. Where is it? There we go. This is what I'm looking for. So the settings that I've got, we are apparently under the protection... Man, I don't even know where to look for this stuff. We are under the protection of, I'm guessing, Spain, since I chose Captain Hook as my pirate leader. Let me look at World Affairs, maybe? We are in a harmonious relationship with them. How do I change this? The interface is so bizarre. Harmonious with them. They are a patron to me, yes. So, basically, that means that because we have a patron, we will be protected from the other nations, from raids and whatnot, and we will also get something, hopefully a ship, but I think I need to put down a dock to begin with. So beaches are kind of important, not just because you will need multiple docks to have multiple ships, because you will eventually get multiple captains, but also because you need that for your shipyards and that sort of thing. Also, completely different from the first game, is we need to actually have roads to build on in this game. So, anticipating where I'm going to expand to, this is my lumber lumber yard, my sawmill, excuse me. But I should probably have it close to a source of lumber, which strangely you don't have right away. You got to put down an actual lumber mill. But I guess probably keeping it over here would be good. Although I don't really, well, maybe I can extend the town this way instead. Be a little bit different, but why not? Okay, we'll do that. So I'm going to drag my road out here. And we'll just put this down here. Come back in here. And it looks like that's that. Okay. So, not only do we have the pirates, we also have captives. Captives are the citizens of the island. And we need to keep them happy too, so they have their own various needs and demands. And this is where the balancing act at the beginning really becomes a problem, because you need to have industry up and running and therefore provide for your people, but your pirates get restless almost immediately. So anyway, as he said there, as Smitty said there, our guide, we need a construction tent. So this is kind of where these people that come out of your stockade will go to be sort of their first point of call. You put your construction tents sort of around where you need them to congregate so that they will start building things. So I'm going to build one right here. And this is one of those tents that is shoddily made. And so you don't need time to construct it, it just pops up. As well as a chuck tent. And this is how you feed your people. So we'll probably put that right there. So aside from the needs, there are also a couple other things that we need to consider. There are basically auras on the island: orderly, scary, anarchy, and defense. What that means is that your workers need order. Your pirates need anarchy. Your workers need to be scared, and your pirates like feeling a little bit safer on the island, so they need defense. And so obviously you've got some things that are antithetical to each other, like anarchy and order, so that means you need to develop your town in different ways so that they don't overlap and affect productivity, because it also will impact the rebelliousness of your servants and the mutinous feelings of your pirates. So right now this will get people going, and if we click here we see there's a few other things. This line here is the number of your captives who will be working. This is sort of your pirate overseer, and right here will be an indication sometimes of a hauler, someone who will just move things around the island. So you see that my captives are basically all haulers right now. They're also grayed out. What that means is that they are not set in their ways to be haulers. They will choose whatever job as long as they're gray, and they will change. The minute they become a color means that's what they want to do the rest of their lives. So we kind of have to be aware of that. Now, something you can also do is, of course, do the hiring and firing to make sure that we don't have too many people. In fact, I'm going to close off 2 of those. Very early on, whilst you're trying to get your ships up and all this industry going, you really have a very limited number of people coming in. Now, we are patronized by a nation, so they will send basically prisoners to populate our island for us. But when you're playing some of the other missions, especially the campaign, the entire campaign is meant for tutorials. But there are times when you're just on your own, and then you're kind of screwed because you don't have anyone new coming to the island until you have a ship. And of course you need a bunch of infrastructure before you can have a ship, so you need to basically hire and fire people to try and move them around to where they need to go. Another thing we need to do whilst we're out here then, so this will start building, these people will start moving out there, but we also need them to be working their farms and fields, and so that's kind of working here. Now you'll notice that we also have males and females. This does actually have an impact. The manual actually talks about, oh, we actually have a chuck tent. Yeah, great. Well, let's get rid of that one then. Maybe not. Maybe we need to actually get rid of this one. we have no reason for these people to be out here. Yeah. The manual talks about gender roles, and so there actually is a thing where, like, if you've got women in a manual labor role, it's actually better to fire them so that they will go towards something else, because there are many, many different buildings that we will need up in here. Okay. So that's going. Let's go ahead and get the first thing we need. You need three things to be able to have a ship fully crewed. Obviously, you need your pirates captains, but you need to provide sea biscuits, which are made from a product of corn. So we've got 2 corn farms here. So we should probably build that next. In fact, I'm going to actually not prioritize that. We don't need that until we get going. So let's get where is it? Well, we do need a timber camp, so I guess I'll build one of those, but you need a road, so I won't build that right yet. I think it's in the ship stuff, yeah, strangely. Okay, so the sea ration factory will make sea biscuits. Yeah, I'm just going to put it right here. I'm probably going to leave this a pretty orderly area, so it doesn't really matter too much, so I'll set up the factory there. Now you see that we've got the same grid, tree, and weather toggles. This is actually pretty level, it's just higher up on a hill, so hopefully that won't take them too long to start building it. So you need sea biscuits so that they can go about their business. You need lumber, obviously, for building stuff. But you definitely need supplies for sea biscuits, and you need some sort of weaponry. We'll have to set up the lumber just because that's a necessary industry in general. And I keep forgetting I need to put down my damn roads. So put that down, and why don't I actually just put it down here where it's nice and flat already? There. So pertaining to that, we've got that iron spot out here, so I'll probably develop out this way. Pertaining to the weaponry, we've got 3 different types of weapons, and that will affect the different types of missions I can give my pirates. The easiest is going to be swords. They at the very least need swords so they can start performing boarding actions. So we'll get this set up here. Raw goods. I need an iron mine, but you see I need 10 timber. So first off, we need to get these people moving. So we'll go ahead and start at just a normal difficulty, or normal speed I should say. And whilst we're at it, let's just go ahead and finish off a road here. Okay. So for pirate satisfaction and happiness, there are several other things we need to be doing. You know what? I'm actually going to open these up because we're going to need people running around to build things as quickly as possible. Let's just turn this up to very fast speed. So they're going to have your pirates are going to have some dissatisfaction very early on, and the ways that you can keep them happy and entertained are via a bar. An early bar is the smuggler's dive, wenching huts, gambling dens, and then various forms of that later on. Eateries for just plain old restaurants, but I think the eatery is the next level up from smuggler's den. Again, variety is good, but the thing is that the higher level, for example, a gambling den versus the animal pit, it will require different types of pirates. So your pirate officers will go to a gambling den, your pirate captain will go to a casino, and there's various levels of there. It's a little more complicated than that because apparently your pirates actually gain levels, so that if your crew member becomes more skilled and more prestigious, they can go to higher level things.
Your lordship, your ships will need docks if they're to be tended to.
Yes, I know. So we need that, and hopefully actually once we build the dock, then we'll start getting, we'll get our free ship from our patron. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot I can do just yet. got 11 lumber, so now maybe I could get started on this. Put that right there, and in fact, I should maybe... Okay, we just got a schooner donated to me. Let's put a construction, the Horrible Goblin. Okay, and as you can see, it is full up because we already had some pirates on the island. In fact, I can come here. My demographics. Okay, we've got one captain, a full crew, and some of these people are guarding me. Many of them have left to go on a ship. But right now, we actually do... Interesting. So it was donated full. This does not normally happen. These are the things you have to provide for yourself. So you got sea rations. We're working on it. I'm going to set medium priority. I do not have enough pirates on board of the island to have one here. So that's too bad. But we do have a full crew. So as you can see, they are women. So the cooking is one of the things that you prefer to have females working. And the manual labor stuff, apparently you prefer to have men working. So, anyway, so we've got that, but we've also got a full complement of cutlasses, cannons, and muskets. So this means that we will be able to do different types of piracy. And they have different benefits. So right now, if we went to boarding, that would be very risky. I'd potentially lose some of my pirates, but I would also have a better chance of getting captives and recruits. Whereas harassing them is very safe for my pirates, but we're probably going to kill anybody. So I think I'm going to go for the middle ground. This will give us a chance to get some captives, hopefully not wealthy citizens, or wealthy captives. Wealthy captives are good in a couple kind of ways because you can ransom them for money straight up, but if you leave them on the island, they will also go to some of your fancier buildings. So like, for example, a casino. Not just for captains, I could fill that up with wealthy citizens and I would gain money that way. So it really kind of depends where you're at. You just need a quick cash infusion or what. One thing I should probably do though, here's what we can actually do for our piracy levels. We can go cruising, which is just attacking and plundering. We can go explore new areas. We can kidnap craftsmen. And this is what you need to basically unlock some of the higher level things. So like for example, if I wanted a gunsmith, I would need to kidnap a gunsmith. We appear to have a lot of stuff on here that I have not really... Well, like I said, the campaign missions are about teaching you all the things, and I just had not gotten to that point yet. So anyway, we've got this going. The mine will start going. We'll set up the whole industry for that here in a minute. We're not coming down this way, it looks like, with anything. So I'm going to go like this. Also, I'm not playing the music. Let's just keep this going. Not playing the music, as you probably have noticed, because again of the copyright thing. But it is a very good soundtrack, and it gives me a lot of nostalgia for the Monkey Island games. So if you'd like to hear it, you can probably just open another window in YouTube and listen to it there. Okay, so we've got the first thing we need is the Smuggler's Dive. Now, when you're putting these buildings down, you can see here that it provides anarchy. So we want to keep this away from anyone. We don't want to be affected by that. And we also want it close to the docks, because when the pirates come back, they will go straight to their places of entertainment. And so the closer it is to the dock, the better. And
well, now, Squire, you'll not be getting any weapons without an iron mine.
Yes, so let's put that down there. That'll take a while. And then the next thing we'll need are probably the wenches. Now, there is a 4-to-1 ratio between wenches and the inns, so we'll have to think about that. I've still got a few people here. I got a trader, a priest, a shipwright. Oh, I've already got a lot of people started. So we see a hauler, Antonio here. He's only ever going to be a hauler. We've already got a shipwright, so that's good. I can open up a dock right away. Hopefully... I need 10 lumber, but hopefully I can build that here, because otherwise I'm going to have to, well, you know, I can put it down here. It does have to be close to a beach. Actually, maybe I could do something here. Let's maybe put in a road. I am, there we go. Okay, so we might have an option there. That's good. What it means though is I need my lumber to be built up, and then we can, well, we don't really need to worry about that actually, because I've already got this. But if I get myself another captain, then that'll be necessary. But what else do we have? We had a priest. That is important, because one of the things that will keep your workers happy is worship. So I say we go ahead and find it, because I don't remember where the damn thing is. There. Church. Church takes, does that say 9 lumber? This font is very hard to read. So when we get 9 lumber, I'll put a church down, and that'll keep them happy. I need you guys to be making a little bit more. They need some better corn. Well, I guess we just wait. I guess we just wait until that goes. We need them to be growing some corn. Okay, so this is built. Next thing up to do would be a blast furnace, followed by a blacksmithy. Now, because we've already got a ship fully staffed with things, we don't really need to worry too much about this. This is actually a very smooth start, so I should maybe focus a little bit more on getting these people up and running. Put our trees back up. With that in mind, corn can also be used towards our brew making. So actually, this is probably what I want. But since I've got enough for a church now, oh good, Spain just gave me more captives. That will be very helpful. We'll put a church down, and then the next building will be our brewery. So, if this ever makes this other damn biscuit, they've got a little bit here. They need to move that over to the factory. You got a ton. Can we get a hauler in here, please? I think that might be the red guy right... Nope, wait, I think that's them. Going to... cook tent? Where are you going with that? Need some grub, that guy does. So maybe I will also put down a chuck tent over here. Yeah, why don't I put a chuck tent down
Captain,
right there?
We be lacking beer on this here.
I know. As soon as we get 10 lumber, I will put this down. There we go. So the beer is obviously necessary for these guys. So here's what I was talking about. The ranks of pirates that you purvey to, and you can also set the prices here. So having nicer establishments, a little bit better at times. Got ourselves a cook. Now, one thing that I should probably start looking at early is captives. Let's look at order. Order's okay out here. Fear could be a little bit better out here. You'll see over here I've got captive resignation and pirate happiness. These are the things that I need to balance. So one way to get the fear going now is to start putting some scary decor around. I can also put gallows and that sort of thing. So we'll put a couple of those. They do take lumber, which is unfortunate. I should probably actually get more lumbers going, just because. Another thing too is that if I have too many captives, in fact we can look at the stockade here. I got a trader and the shipwright, okay. But if we end up having too many captives and not enough pirates to, say, fill in these overseer roles, you can actually press gang some of your captives. I think right now, though, we're pretty good. I want full staff as much as possible. In fact, I'm going to medium prioritize that, and I could maybe kick out... Well, how about we kick out you? And then maybe that'll set you up here. No, it made you a hauler. Damn it. I guess I could kick out one of you. That make you a brewer? I wish you could just assign. I feel like that would be so much more useful to just be able to assign a worker to a place. And we have nobody working here to protect me, so I had best be on my good behavior and not piss anyone off. Okay, excellent. So, let's pause here. I think we'll just make you go away for a moment. So we've got a full crew, we've got a full everything. We need to send these guys out and start making me some money. So I think I could just send them out cruising. These are very familiar seas. You see that the more familiar I am with this place, the more I explore, the more lucrative the zones will be, but the more people I attack, also the more risk is going to be here. Now, we are patronized by Spain. So before we do that, there's an edict in here where I think I need to come in and say no Spanish victims, because we don't really want to piss them off. There's also... Okay, so we've already got the peace policy here. Let's say no Spanish victims.
Oi, Captain. Time for a little diplomacy.
Yeah, that will prevent them from doing bad things. However, let's say... Okay, so the third thing is that I can determine how much money I get in kickback when they leave. I'm going to pick, well, right now, big spender. Big spender means that the pirates will keep their stuff, their money, they'll be able to spend it in my goods. Eventually, what I want to do, I can never remember where these damn things are. There are way too many menus here. I'll know it when I see it. This. Pirate Cave. This is my stash. This allows me to have my own stuff. My own money. So I'm going to put that somewhere, but I don't have enough lumber. So right now, we'll just send them off. They'll make their own money. They will have a lot of stuff they can spend. Hopefully here, I might be able to break open that price there. But more importantly, I'll be building a few things. And Smitty here is going to complain a lot to me that the pirates can't find what they're looking for, because they are going to they're going to come back and have no place to spend their money. So he'll sort of tell me what I'm missing out on here. But anyway, let's send them off on their first voyage, and let's see what they bring back. Hopefully something good. It's nice that this came fully equipped, though. So I have a lot more options, because that is a major part of, I guess, a normal difficulty game, is that you have to rush to at least get up to the cutlasses so that they can go off and do something. Otherwise, you have to provide for them on shore, and of course that means you're dividing your people, and it's kind of a pain. So let's actually see what the trader does. Will allow me to do. I'm gonna guess that's here. Bakery, cigar factory, tobacconist, engineers, cook, distillers. Okay. This is just lumber. That's all for schooling. Apothecary, hotel. Takes a wealthy captive to make a hotel. What is this? Interrogation chamber. Oh, for fear. I get you.
Maybe you hadn't noticed.
Pirates
Captain,
need more wenching.
but there ain't enough wenches on your island.
Yeah, I know. I'll get there eventually. Graveyard. Now this is a cool thing. The graveyard allows me to actually raise dead crew. And I think I can basically then use them as workers. So I can have skeleton pirates moving around and doing things. I'm not sure what the rest of these do, because I never played them in the... A smuggler's cove. Oh, is that what that trader is? Okay. Well, I know what the black market will do is it will allow me to buy goods that I don't have. For example, if I needed cannons or whatever, I could buy it through the black market to supplement another ship. I'm not sure what the smuggler is. Sells surplus weapons, rum, beer, pastry. Okay, so it's basically everything else that isn't on the ship. This is local stuff. So since I do have a trader, I guess I could build one of those. But more important to me is actually building the boatyard. Although at this point we could just build a shipyard, since we're working our way towards lumber there. But actually what I think I want first, since Smitty already sort of told us, we need to get some wenches going on. And really, let's actually start with the animal pit. The animal pit is gambling, and since they're going to be coming back with some money, I want them to be doing that. Now, the wenches obviously require women to be employed there, so it's really not going to be beneficial to me if I don't have a surplus of female workers on the island. There's also another thing here too, where you can actually have houses for your pirates. We can have bunkhouses for our workers, which I should probably put down because this will allow them to rest. If you do not have these down, then they will go all the way back to the stockade to rest. And as you can imagine, that takes
gold is holding steady.
a lot of time. Okay, that's good. What about my... I need 15 lumber. Well, I keep spending the damn stuff, so... it's probably actually beneficial for me to come out here to another part of the island and put down more of this. Although it is possible... I mean, we've got a lot going on here, so I could build a secondary lumber mill to feed from this, because that might actually be a good idea. If I could even remember, I guess it's the sawmill. That takes 20 lumber in itself. Didn't come back with a damn thing. Well, crap. He does have some money, but we don't really have much for him to spend it on, unfortunately. So we're going to have to improve upon that. Okay, I think maybe I can build me a road here. Actually, let's put this first one down and then use that as a guide. Now they're going to have to level out some land. But as I said, it is important that they maintain sort of the same locale so that you're not spilling over with the various anarchies and whatnot, because this alone is spreading very bad anarchy. In fact, it's spreading it all over the place. So what I actually need is to start counteracting that with some order. Orderly shrubs. Oh, actually it looks like... Okay. It's actually kind of a little bit confusing. So it shows I've got good order here. This shows that there needs to be anarchy. Anarchy is actually pretty bad. So I need to push back against all this order. Really, it would be better to maybe have the pirate town down here. I kind of did this poorly here. But since I anticipate most of my industry coming out this way, I think I'll build pirate town up along the coast here. And I don't know. So actually what I need to be doing is doing more anarchy out here with decorations like the anarchy shrubs. I don't even know what that means. When you start on some of the campaign missions, they're like giant skeletal hands that provide fear and all that stuff. Not really sure. Doesn't look like I have access to any of that. And of course I just spent lumber to build the damn thing. No one's coming here to spend money. Pirate satisfaction. I have one skeptical pirate. The captain. He needs bedding and wenches. Well, we got bedding. But he himself... I think this might be why he's not going here. The captain himself... there, you. is a rank 3. Okay, so he should be able to go to this den. Where is he right now, though? Let's click on the ship, click on him. He's on the ship. So, not really sure. He just hasn't gone out to the animal pit yet, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It will take care of itself. The game actually is pretty forgiving about this. Like, I've gone all the way down to 40% on this stuff, and there hasn't been any problems. And some of the difficulty settings that I chose are pretty simple. They are very forgiving. So this should actually be a pretty easy run. I've got this set to 20 years, and it says that at normal speed, 2 years is an hour. So we might not make it in 6 episodes. I'm not really sure. But I think that this is a pretty good start, especially with this ship. Having this ship up and running is so necessary. I mean, it is your source of income, pretty much. But it is also what ultimately gets these guys out there, and there's just that engine in the game where you need them to go out so that they make money, so they come back to the island and spend money on your stuff so that you keep them happy, so that you can expand, and it goes round and round and round. But we have some dedicated haulers. We've got some people who turned into priests. That's not terribly useful, and that they are that color, so they have decided this is what they're going to do, which I guess is good to escape from work that way. But so we keep getting captives in from Spain. That's nice. As long as we don't piss Spain off at all, we'll be fine. More and more, we're getting to know the Bahamas. Well, just that one trip was helpful, but eventually we want this to get to be very good. There's very light Spanish and, well, any presence here, so we may end up wanting to go over to northern Hispaniola, which we've barely gone through. There is a farmstead here, so maybe a target to raid eventually. I don't know. But we can take their ships, I should say. But right now we're harmonious with everybody, so that probably would have changed if we'd actually come back and found something. We just did a little bit of wasting time, actually. Anyway, hopefully next time will be a little bit better. But I will end this one here, and I will see you then.